Welcome to the age of Aquarius. Hope you guys are doing well. This reading is for May the 25th. Remember, the energy can kind of shift for depending on your timelines. This energy is marked for Aquarius, but you all have Aquarius in your chart, so it's for the collective. Interesting energy that we've got going on. We finally have the moon has moved over into Leo. And so it's no longer between, on the other side of Venus. So there's a balancing happening, which is good, really good. Anyway, take a deep breath. I really want you to relax and really kick back and make this the part of your day where you get to unwind and release any negative energy that you've had come into you, whether that be vibrations from other people, your work, family, energy as far as negative energies, as far as frequencies coming in. So the more that you can eliminate Wi-Fi and cell signals and wireless devices from your area, the better. It'll definitely improve your sleep, especially when you shift your frequency. It's interesting because we have Heal the Ouch today and the High Priestess. Yeah. We're going to heal the ouch, the ouchies, the things that make us hurt. And frequencies are very much involved in those very things. Some people will find that aches and pains start to go away as they release this negative energy out of their lives. Negative people, negative energy of all types. Also, I highly recommend getting outside, like especially if you're allergy prone or in an allergy prone region, getting outside early in the morning because or in the evenings, but early morning's good because the night's dew has pulled the moisture in the air down to the ground. When it does that, that moisture has captured the pollen and things, and it takes it down to the ground, so it's not in the air, okay? And that will keep if you're allergy prone, that will keep you from inhaling near the quantity of pollen that you'll get midday when the sun has dried everything up and the wind's blowing, right? So early mornings, just as the sun's peeking out, or in the evenings, if that's a good time for you to get your grounding in, get away from all the energy, the negative energy, right? Anyway, so we're going to take in a deep breath when I do this, because we're going to be using the key to heal the ouch of 528 hertz sound frequency. And this reading's definitely about frequencies and energy and the balancing of it. Anyway, we're going to listen to 528 hertz. We're going to breathe that energy in. It's a green frequency, the key of me. It's about DNA healing, miracles, lowered cortisol, lowered chronogranulin A, which is a stress marker in your saliva, increased testosterone in your brain, which helps with anxiety, and increased oxytocin, which is everything's okay hormone in your body, where you find peace. Okay, let's get some of this 528. You breathe it in and breathe out through your mouth. One big, deep release, and release all that negative from the day. And then as soon as you feel like you've released enough of the negative, return just to normal nose breathing. and relax and listen. Remember, these readings are best done and listened to on a wired headset. That's the best way, because that way you're not getting additional frequencies you don't need. Okay? All right. So here we go. 528 hertz for the win. You guys ready for this? I'm ready for this. Just nice, steady, deep breath. Release. I'll give you another one. Reconnecting to our heart chakra energy. That's the key of me. It's all about miracles and healing our DNA, reconnecting our heart chakra to the right and left brain, which creates that triangle field. And when that field is broken, we're not functioning correctly. And our balance of walking the path of service to self and service to others, you need a balance. It needs to be right down the middle. You know, people say, "Oh, I want to be service to others," and then you've got the ego crowd that's doing service to self. The idea is to maintain a really precise balance between those two things. Okay? So try to keep that in mind. Don't be a doormat and don't be an egomaniac, basically, is all things in moderation. Everything in moderation. That saying couldn't be more true than about any other saying on the planet right now. All things in moderation. Because we tend to take things to the extreme, right? And it creates problems for us. Okay? So keep that in mind. But we have this energy. And by the way, happy birthday to Taurus, Gemini, Vedically Taurus. So if your birthday is today, you're Vedically a Taurus. I suggest you pay attention to your charts because, and look at both those charts, both the Vedic chart and your tropical chart, which is the Western chart. So looking at both of those gives you a better understanding of yourself. And I'm going to tell you guys something right now. You see everybody doing readings for specific sun signs. I guarantee you, if you listen to a specific reader and you listen to every one of their sun sign readings, something in there will pertain to you in one way or another because it depends on what house that is for you in your chart. See where I'm going with that? It's almost pointless. Except for, everybody identifies with their tribe, which is awesome. I'm the team Aquarius, but I'm team Capricorn Vedically. Anyway, team Aquarius on the Western front. Yeah. So keep that in mind that these readings are energy for the collective and will affect every single one of you in one way or another. Whether this is somebody next to you or a friend or at work or some sort of situation that you have going on. This is the energy of it. Okay. So keep that in mind. That's why I'm like, there's really no point in specifying sun signs, although, I mean, that's fun. And it's a lot of fun. I love doing that myself. But technically, if all of you listen to all those readings, doesn't matter whose sun sign it's for. Yeah, and you'll see in the comments, it's so funny. I don't understand it. I don't have Capricorn in my chart, but I listen to the Capricorn readings, and for some reason they pertain. That's why, because you do have Capricorn in your chart. And that house might be you may have a lot of planetary placements in that house. Okay. Just so that you guys understand what's going on. Because so few really truly understand that we're all interconnected to each other. And that's why this energy right here and the planets where they're at, that's why it has a propensity to ring true with everybody. Because we're all connected. Okay. Energy flows in and out between all of us, just like the tides in the ocean. And that's why the moon affects us so much. Now, as far as the astrology goes, we have, remember we had the moon on one side of Venus over in Cancer, this is tropically. And it goes the same way with the sidereal. It just moves back one zodiac sign, basically. But, and then we had the Mars over in Leo with Black Moon Lilith. Okay. So I had the moon and Venus, Mars, and Black Moon Lilith. Well, now the moon's passed by both Venus and Mars and it's over almost as a shield or a balancing act happening. So we have Venus and Mars teetering there between Leo and Cancer. And then, which is your divine feminine, divine masculine energy, right? And this balance happening because all this is happening directly across from Pluto, who's at 0 degrees in Aquarius. And there is that balance between the north and south node because they're all square each other right now. Okay. And it feels very north, south, east, west, cut and dry. But the thing is, now we've got the moons moved over and it's in Leo right now. So, Leo, you may have some very confused fire and water energy happening with you right now. You feel your fire coming back online because Mars is in your sign now. But you also have, a lot of times when the moon's going through your sign, you'll get more reflective. This High Priestess card, more in looking inward. Okay, how can I fix myself? How can I fix this? Fix the ouch. How do I heal this? And it's not just for Leo. Everybody's got Leo in their charts. So just think about that. So fixing your divine masculine energy. How do I fix my fire? How do I get that back? How do I get my moxie? Where is it? I need it. We all need it. Trust me. We need some energy. It's like, not the wrong kind of energy. We don't need those frequencies. We need the right frequency. And I guarantee you, if you look at my playlist, The Marian Method, and you obtain one of these 528 hertz keys via Sacred Waves, that's in the description, a link to Sacred Waves. It helps the channel, by the way. You get that and start doing the Marian Method. I guarantee you that's going to retune and rebalance your DNA and everything else about your body. It's like retuning, basically. It will definitely heal the ouch. Bank on it. It takes time because this goes just like with the High Priestess with the cycles of the moon. Remember, I tell you about the moon, and the moon happens to be in Leo right now, which covers tropically the heart, aorta, blood pressure, and blood circulation. Okay? And keep in mind, Vedically, we're looking at Cancer, which is stomach, mucosa, breast, womb, ovary. And so that energy is very, those areas could be problematic for you right now because the moon affects us. The moon affects the tides of the oceans and it affects us. We're made of water too. So, and that's the part of the body that Leo and Cancer rule, is that section of the body, the midsection, okay? The upper mid. So keep that in mind. But we're trying to heal the ouch. And for some of you, this could be just literally having stomach issues, or somebody around you might pop up with stomach issues, or um, tender breast. And then we've got the heart, aorta, blood pressure, blood circulation, that general system. Uh, when it gets out of whack, yeah, you can feel very low energy. If your blood pressure's off, um, if you have cut off circulation, uh, you know, tingling in your extremities, all kinds of fun things can happen with that. So just keep that in mind. Those areas might be sensitive. Also, we're in a waxing moon. It is not a good time for procedures, um, surgeries, etc. It would be better if you could plan that during waning moons. And yeah, that's not coming back to us. The waning moon, let's see, I'll tell you when it's coming back. It's in June, and it's after the next full moon, of course. And yeah, so Monday, June 5th, all systems go again. So you can start scheduling out to the 17th. Okay. Because the 18th is the new moon. So out to the 17th. So from the 5th through the 17th, our excellent healing is in the cards for you during those times. Now, in an emergency, there can't help but be, things that have to be done sometimes. But definitely using frequencies to help you heal will definitely benefit you a great deal. You'd be very shocked how much these frequencies will help. But anyway, all right, let's get into this energy that I'm feeling. I'm picking up like there's a narrow band of frequency that's happening. It's really weird with the Sabian mysteries and this high priestess. We have the same energy happening. We have the gateway, which that the priestess is standing, and notice the spider webs. That's like a net. It almost feels like a frequency net that's trapped in a certain area, a certain fixed location. Also, it reminds me a lot of like things like the Starlink satellites and things like that, and how that does and will affect us mentally. It can't help but do that. And the more stuff up there transmitting stuff and bouncing those frequencies between Earth and the ionosphere, the worse it is for us, especially if those frequencies aren't beneficial. Now, if they were putting those up and they were piping 528 hertz, 432, 444, 174, 417, anything like that at us, that'd be a whole different ball game. We should all be jumping for joy if they do that. But anyway, it feels like frequency, and it's definitely stuck in a portal energy. And narrowing that down, it feels like you're narrowing down what's causing the problem. So some problem that you have, and it's an energetic kind of problem. Has something to do with energy. So that could be electricity. That could be money, because money is energy. That could be your physical energy. Just keep that in mind. It can be any kind of energy. And it's like there's a small, narrow gateway or frequency that might be causing a problem. Okay. Or a narrow window, a time window. That's what I'm feeling. Anyway, let's get into these cards. Heal the ouch. Yes, heal the ouch. Card number 38 breaks down to an 11. So, upright. Heal the ouch. Forgiveness is the healer of the soul. This is a time for great soothing of the heart, body, soul, and mind. Now that's interesting because Leo rules the heart. And we're healing our hearts with this 528 hertz frequency, because that realigns your heart and helps it heal and reconnects it to your field, like this electrical field. That could be what this is talking about for some of you. Anyway, it's funny that's what it says. This is the time for great soothing of the heart, body, soul, and mind, as this card indicates that healing will be prevalent in your life now. If you feel drawn to study the healing arts, you'll be successful in developing your natural capacity to restore others to wellness. However, the message may be that you're being called to change your behaviors in order to heal the earth. Yeah, these frequencies, it's messing everybody up. It's turning us all into a bunch of walking zombies. Perhaps you'll switch to a cruelty-free diet, eating less meat. That's advisable. Or perhaps you'll pay more attention to how much water or electricity you use. Now that's fascinating because yesterday they were reminding me to remind you to get plenty of good, clean water in your system. Because I can tell you one thing, that radiation frequency that everybody's getting bombarded with Wi-Fi and things like that, you're going to need a lot of water to help fight that in your system, okay? So make sure you drink plenty of water. But it's talking about electricity as well, which we're talking about frequencies, and I was talking about it could be even electricity that is an issue. It's funny because I have hypercussive hearing, and there may be others of you out there that have this. My daughter, my oldest daughter, has this as well. And it's, we're basically dolphins out of water is the best way to describe it. We can hear ultrasound. I hear the electricity going through the walls or through the wires outside. And it's like when the power goes out, like during an ice storm or something, the silence is deafening. I'm not kidding. And it's funny because I went in to have an ultrasound done on my heart back several years ago. And the technician, I looked at him, I said, "What am I hearing?" And every time he put the little scope on my chest, I'm like, "What am I hearing?" And he's like, "Oh, you're probably just hearing the air conditioning." I was like, "No, no. Every time you put that on my body, I can hear it." That's impossible. Humans cannot hear that. Really? 'Cause I do. And it's funny, several years later, my daughter called me and she goes, "It was really weird. I was getting an ultrasound and they said that I couldn't hear that, but I could hear it." I'm like, Welcome to the club, honey. We're freaks. Anyway, yeah, it's a thing, hypercussive hearing. And it's funny because as I was growing up, I had no idea that I was a little odd when it came to that sort of stuff. A high sensitive. My smell, my taste, my hearing, everything is amplified like superhuman freak show stuff. I'm not kidding. And yeah, as a kid, you don't know that you're different because you think everybody hears those things. No, they don't. And you don't realize it till later, till things like you hear things enough times or smell something enough times the other people aren't hearing, smelling, seeing, etc. And you're like, okay, I might be different. Might be. Could be. And then you start looking into it, and there's others like you. It's just kind of rare. Okay. Anyway, just I digress. I'm sorry. Anyway, so this could be you just trying to cut back on usage of energy or power or limiting it, possibly somehow. You're asked to be conscious of your footprint on the sacred earth. And that's funny because I was telling you guys to get out there barefoot, ground yourselves in the morning. They're doubling down. But also be conscious of your footprint as well and all of life and to commit to the healing path. Walking in Dharma. Yeah. Now, be careful because remember, there's that balance I keep talking about. It's not service to self and service to others. It's right down the middle. Right down the middle. Okay. The heal the ouch card may also be an indicator of old wounds and broken bonds being mended. So for some of you, it's literally patching a cord together that's going to happen tomorrow. It could be something so stupid simple it's crazy. Or it could be very huge. Maybe your electricity was cut off and you're getting reconnected. See what I'm saying? That's how this energy can affect everybody on the planet because they all have Aquarius in their chart. Okay? Reconciliations are, excuse me, allergies. Reconciliations are possible now. Let bygones be bygones. So for some of you, it is literally healing some past problem you had with someone else. For those that need to hear it reversed, this card is a message urging you to make amends for any harm you've done to another. So if you've been operating out of ego and you've done something narcissistic, psychopathic, sociopathic, doesn't matter, they're all the same thing, just varying levels of the same egoic BS. Okay? It's time for you to make amends for that. Okay? Appraise yourself and remember, like I said, our Leo energy, our fire energy has Black Moon Lilith and the moon. Highly introspective, reflecting on our fire energy, how we can fix that. Okay. Appraise yourself honestly. Have you been selfish, greedy, or inconsiderate of others? Have you harbored resentment towards those who have harmed you in the past? Because holding on to resentment and stuff like that, that's not good for you. That creates negative energy. Okay. Practice deep and radical forgiveness. In order to be free, to know healing, you must surrender your old hurts and begin anew. Forgiving yourself and loving yourself is important too. This is something I would love for you guys to do. It's something I've been doing to myself. It's nurturing your inner child. So many of us grew up in families where they didn't even hug us. I did. I didn't get hugs from my parents until I got older and walked up and made them hug me. Sometimes you have to parent yourself. And when you lay down at night and everything gets quiet and still right before you go to sleep, cross your arms over your chest, put your hands on each shoulder, and give yourself a true bona fide deep hug, like the kind of hug you'd want to give that puppy, your kitty, your kids. Do it for yourself. You'll be amazed at the energy that does and what it does for you for healing. Not kidding. So those of you that have been raised in families like that, it, you'll be amazed at what it does for you. It's quite profound, actually. And really, the kind of hug you go in deep, you know? You go in deep and really, yeah. Do that to yourself. You're going to be amazed at what it does. Not kidding. It's all about frequency. And that is a frequency because you're loving on yourself, basically. And that's high vibing. All right. All right. Let's get back to this. All right. Here we go. Practice deep and radical forgiveness. In order to be free, to know healing, you must surrender your old hurts and begin anew. Forgiving yourself and loving yourself is important too. Be humble and willing to admit to your weaknesses. Know the imperfections of the human personality. So knowing your own imperfections, right? It's being human. Walk tall as you take the path of the shaman and wise elder who is willing to go into the shadows to bring healing light to old wounds. Okay, so some of you may be like me and on a path to help heal others, because that's what my readings are all about. It's not just about what's happening tomorrow and who's baby mama this or whatever. That's not what I do. There's lots of readers that can do that for you. They're amazing. But that's not what I'm doing. I'm here to heal you and myself all at the same time. Okay. And there's many of you that may be on healing journeys of your own, or you're becoming healers. Maybe you want to work with sound. Maybe you want to work with Reiki. That kind of energy, moving energy, just like you do with Qigong, right? That's what Reiki is, basically, right? Yeah, there's all different kinds of healers. Maybe you're actually going to go to college and become a naturopath or a DO, an osteopath, or an MD, even a nurse. Maybe you're going to go in for a CNA so that you can work with old folks and help them out, or those that are challenged physically, right? Okay, so many of you may be going into that. Male or female, doesn't matter. If you feel drawn to be a healer, you should absolutely do exactly that. Okay? But make sure you're healing yourself at the same time. Okay? Always take care of yourself so that you are good and whole and can help take care of others. Because you're going to take on some of that energy. Okay? Whenever you're connecting with others that need healed, you will take on some of that energy. You need to learn how to shield yourself from that energy, how to absorb it and transmute it, and all that fun stuff. So keep that in mind, because working with the sick can make you sick if you're not careful. Okay? Literally, it's just like if you're a doctor and you're working with somebody that's got a cold or a virus or what have you, or the flu, you could get it too because you're working in contact with people. Energy is energy, regardless of whether it is in the air, in the water. Doesn't matter, right? See where I'm going with that? Doesn't matter what kind of healer you are. Anyway, the goddess of the crescent moon. But I have a feeling somebody's going to be healing somebody else or yourself. Could be, right? Or others. The high priestess is the maiden goddess in the cycles of the moon, the first aspect phase of the triple goddess. She has a silent, mysterious power that can look into one's soul. Have you ever had that happen? When you look at somebody in the eye and they can't look at you directly back because you look right through them and they feel that. It makes them uncomfortable, right? Have you seen that happen or been a party to it? Have you been on the other end where you felt uncomfortable because somebody's gaze is so, well, there's some narcissists that don't blink, and yeah, that'll make you uncomfortable too. But then there's these others that can see right through other people. Yeah. Anyway, interesting. The priestess has deep wisdom and intuition. She contains all knowledge, but at a level that can only be expressed in symbols. This is often referred to as the psychic card. She is the feminine principle that balances the masculine principle of the magician. Now remember, in the uh, astrology, the balance of the divine masculine and feminine has happened. Okay? The high priestess number is 2, symbolizing balance and choices. The high priestess can pass back and forth through the veil behind her, represented by the spider's web. The veil is the passage between the conscious and the unconscious realms. The high priestess guards it well. The high priestess helps clarify our purpose and our potentials. As you peel back the layers of your personal veil, you move deeper into your inner self, discovering your connection to the realm of spirit and soul memory. The high priestess watches over the hidden knowledge, dreams, and what is beyond the seemingly obvious. She is the portal or channel for universal mysteries that lay hidden behind the veil. The high priestess is the link between the seen and the unseen. She balances the polarities of the masculine and feminine, the light and the dark, spirit and matter, tapping into intuition and inherent knowledge. The high priestess keeps these dualities in balance, understanding the continuous cycling and rebalancing of life's forces and experiences. One of the priestess's virtues is patience. She does not push. She waits in the stillness of silence, listening for the whispers of the divine. With the high priestess, you realize all answers lie within you. She says, take time to meditate, dive deep into the stillness of your soul self, and listen. The high priestess holds the key, the star. That's Aquarius. To the Akashic records, which is universal knowledge. She has the gift of knowing how to channel into the collective memory of the past, present, and future that guide you to resolve blocks that disturb your inner peace and balance. There you go. Energy blocks, right? And ways to resolve that, okay? To restore peace and balance. The star she holds contains the universal secrets, answers, and mysteries that are available to you through prayer, meditation, dreams, and communion with nature and the higher self. Her message is to trust your inner self and intuition. The high priestess brings harmony and balance to situations that have been out of sync. So resyncing. She represents the beginning of the creative cycle. She brings time for self-reflection and integrating opposing aspects of the self. The priestess signals a time of going within, experiencing your dark, mysterious self, balancing that experience with your conscious self. Understanding and honoring both realms can unveil the portal to the inner oasis of your soul. The waxing moon above the dark pillar, the first aspect of the moon's continuous cycle, on her right represents the time for planting seeds, intentions, and ideas, which is right now because we just had the new moon, right? And we are in waxing right now. The full moon above the high priestess represents illumination, harvest, and fullness of life, the opened flower. The waning crescent moon to her left represents death, moving into rebirth, bringing lessons, awakening, and healing from the process of passing through all the phases of the cycling moon. The two pillars symbolize the dualities of the physical, spiritual life, masculine, feminine self, and negative, positive energies. The black pillar symbolizes understanding, the pillar of severity. The white pillar represents wisdom, the pillar of mercy. The high priestess represents the central pillar of mildness. The spider's web represents the veil between the conscious and the subconscious. It symbolizes creativity and all the possibilities in life. But also, it is there to make us aware that we can get trapped in the veil if we pass through it without the proper knowledge and preparedness. The high priestess holds a star in her hands, symbolizing her ability to access the Akashic records, which is universal knowledge. The star in her crown symbolizes the sixth chakra. The third eye is associated with the high priestess, symbolizing great insight. Her dress is made up of a pattern of crosses. Descent of spirit into matter, descent of spirit into matter, and matter into spirit. The balance of male and female energies, and the balance of the four directions of spirit: north, south, east, west. And remember, that's the way the astrology is. We got Pluto in Aquarius, right at the 0 point, squaring the nodes, squaring Mars and Venus, Black Moon, Lilith, and the Moon. Can't make that up if you tried. Anyway, the four directions of spirit: emotions, mind, and body. And spiral of life and the universe and its creative forces. Her dress flows into the pool of subconscious that reflects one back to the self. In the pool, the blue color and the stars represent the deep knowledge and creativity that is a constant in our universe. The planet associated with the priestess is the moon, intuition, cycles, and mystery, as well as the third eye insight, the sixth chakra. Insight from the sixth chakra. So, as I said, check out the Marian method in the playlist on my channel and get yourself some 528 hertz healing frequency for your heart chakra and realigning your DNA, your antennas that help connect you to the divine so you can become a true high priestess. Because she knows. If you look, they talked about her dress, but look at her crown. See that symbol, the Egyptian symbol of the horns and what appears to be a sun? Those horns mean sound, frequency, sound, light, sun, frequency. She knows about light and sound and how those waves and those particles affect and can heal the ouch. They can also cause an ouch. Keep that in mind. Anyway, you can obtain your 528 hertz fork from Sacred Waves. It's in the description below. And if you use that link, it helps the channel and my work of helping to heal you all from trauma. This has been a very trauma-based system, the age of Pisces. And now we're moving into the age of Aquarius, which is the age of humanity and healing. Yes, we're going to backstep all that we've learned and relearn without ego, being out of balance, basically. Anyway, also available for private video readings. Link is in that description on how to do that. Also, many, many thanks and gratitude to you guys for the amazing comments and things. Um, one of our family here left a comment, and she was talking about, oh my gosh, you were talking about um, somebody having trouble with urinary, and her cat did, and what she went through with her cat. And that post got held by YouTube for some reason. I found it in the comments that were held, and I apologize. YouTube hijacked your comment, and I got it up and published now. So hopefully that helps others with kitty cats. When they come along your post, maybe that will be very helpful. And thank you, because you're obviously a healer yourself, having to do things on the cheap, right? I totally understand that. And yeah, all the other wonderful comments and the people that have already purchased their 528 hertz and started doing the Marian method to heal themselves. Yes, bravo. I'm so excited for you guys. I can't wait to hear how you're doing. And make sure you keep me apprised in the comments section. And if you don't like being public about it, because us Aquariuses tend to be a little tight-lipped like the high priestess, right? Anyway, if you have a lot of Aquarius energy in your chart, or you tend to lean that direction, you can always email me and let me know. And that information's in the channel and in the description box below too. So, and let me know how your healing journey's going. And yeah, I'm really excited for everybody. It's a great future ahead. All of us reconnecting our heart chakras, getting our DNA repaired. And your DNA is literally an antenna. Not kidding. And just look at the research. It's there. That's literally antenna. And when we have broken antenna, we get, yeah, all kinds of dis-ease. Anyway, I do hope you have a fantastic, fantastic Thursday, the 25th of May. And like I said, this energy can kind of flow in or out a few days and things like that. Infinite Terra, that's heart spelled backwards, because Da Vinci knew what he was doing when he was writing backwards. And so do I. And infinite gratitude to each and every one of you. And thank you for the likes, shares, and subs. It's been fantastic. I'm super excited about the future. I hope you are too. If not, get excited, because it's going to be amazing. Talk to you later.